So, hello, hello, hello. Ragnajita
Yes,
Chatterjee back
hi.
again, my dear viewers, with another new episode with something very interesting and very new. I'm sure you would all like it. Therefore, don't skip the video. Today, I have Mr. Zubin Vevaina in my talk show. Of course, this is the second episode that I'm trying to host, and it will be an interesting one because he is a specialist in nothing than graphology. So I'll just get the discussion with him. I'll just request him to start the conversation and introduce himself and talk about the art of graphology. Welcome, Mr. Zubin. So let me and my viewers hear you. What is graphology all about?
Hi,
Yeah.
I am Zubin Vevaina from A to Z Graphology. I am from the city of Pune in India. I have been in the field of graphology since the year 2005, and I
Okay.
started it as a hobby. It turned into a pastime, it turned into a profession. So I enjoy all aspects of graphology even till today. So there are parts of what I do which is professional. The parts of what I do is just for fun. But as long as it's about handwriting analysis and graphology and understanding people through writing, it's what I do. It's the only thing I know what to do correctly. All
So
right.
the wonderful thing is you have taken your passion as a profession and you are enjoying what you are doing. You are changing lives, I suppose. So,
Yes, it's
my
a
viewers,
blessing.
graphology is nothing other than the art of handwriting, because handwriting tells a lot about you, about me, about everyone. And Mr. Vivena is here who would understand at one go, if you give your handwriting, what are your thoughts, what are your feelings, where are you blocked, what are your blockages rather. So just tell me that what kind of changes, like does improving handwriting bring financial success, health, career, all these things, can they be really improved? To what extent?
So this is a good question and an obvious question actually. Why would anybody want to bother with graphology if it did not ever make a difference in their life?
Yeah, yeah.
So before I talk about anybody else's story and effect, I would like to talk about my own story, where the change in handwriting and the change in the way I made my handwriting different, the letter
Hmm.
structure, the word structure, it slowly and steadily changed my programming. And
Hmm.
when my programming changed, my outlook towards life changed. Okay. So let's take, for example, in my academic years, I was a major failure for most of the years,
Hmm.
almost failing and doing very poorly in almost all subjects. Not that I did not study. I did do uh, a good effort. I tried to do as much as I could, but eventually the reality is that my marks were not matching the effort.
Hmm.
And as I went through life and then I started my graduation, and fortunately, you could say, I stumbled upon graphology. I took it up as another pastime, another thing to learn.
Hobby,
And
yeah.
the thing is that when you learn many things, you don't expect much to happen. So graphology also was one of those things which I'm just going to learn just for the heck of it. But when I started learning it and started applying the concepts which were found in it, and when it started to change my life, then you could say I could feel the difference in the way my programming, the way I had an outlook towards life. And then according to that, I was able to make changes in my life the way I wanted. So when I started practicing a better handwriting, I analyzed my own handwriting, I understood my
Hmm.
strengths and weaknesses. Then I became a distinction student. So you can imagine
Wow.
from failure and low performance academics to a distinction class student and having distinction throughout my graduation
Precise.
in all the
Yes.
topics, eventually hitting 90% in my practical exam. So I know what it is like to fail and I know what it is like to succeed very well. So When a student who's a failure on a poor academic student comes to me, I know how to pick them up to a better performance. And
Hmm.
if a high performance student comes to me, I can teach them how to enjoy their life while performing high. Because that's the biggest problem. That the high performing student might get more marks, but the quality of the
Hmm.
life is not really good.
Not good.
Okay. Like you probably must have imagined that, in a normal middle class or normal home, when the exam timetable is announced, the entire mood of the house changes, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
instead of the mood of the house changing for something bad, it should be actually something exciting. So that mindset is what I'm trying to change for students all across the world. And I've had students from different cultures: Indian,
Hmm.
American, Australian, European, African. So when they use the concepts of graphology, which are universal for everybody, the benefit is there. Now, academics and academic performance is not the only thing that improved. Yes, I had an improvement in my career path. I had improvement in my relations, in my friendships,
Hmm.
in my personal health, in my personal mental well-being, my emotional well-being, okay, and overall harmony of life. And you could say that the one of the best things is that I got clarity in whatever I wanted to do. Either yes or no. Do I want to do it? Yes or no. So the clarity made life much more better in its quality. And yes, I got many other students and graphotherapy clients who can share their own stories, but this is my own story. This is what motivates me every day, because if I know that it
Hmm.
has worked for me, it will work for everybody else. Yes.
Thank you so much. Wonderfully explained. Yes, my friends will surely be amazed to hear this. Who doesn't like to succeed? But failure, we
Of
say,
course.
yes, it's a learning, but of course, continuous failure, we never are encouraged through it. And I am, friends, I am also a part, I am his student, I would say, and I am also part of still trying to improve my handwriting. But the
Ah,
thing is that it's a quite a long process and it's an everyday process, I would say.
yes.
Everyday
Yes.
learning, everyday practicing. It's just not 1 month or 2 month matter. If you are really willing to improve something, if you think I'm trying so hard, because there are so many ways, we astrology or some other things, they're all science, we say. But of course,
Mhm.
graphology handwriting is a kind that relates. I think it will show the real me. It will express who I
Yes.
am through my handwriting better, as you are saying. But one thing, Mr. Vivena, is that we as children, parents or teachers in school, they guide us about with one kind of handwriting mode. We have some handwriting books. People take the way neatness and cleanness, how to write that. It becomes the handwriting tag that he writes very neatly,
Yes.
he writes
Yes.
very
Yes.
cleanly, his handwriting is good, but
Mhm.
we actually don't know the curve of A or the B as per graphology.
Well,
So
right,
suddenly, yes, what would you
in the
say on
system of
this?
learning,
Suddenly to change.
in the education system, it's very difficult to personalize handwriting improvement per student. If a
Hmm.
classroom has got 30 students, 60 students in some clubs,
Yes.
things. So if you are in a classroom of 30 students, we would like each student to get personal attention and get
Hmm.
personalized handwriting changes. But neither a teacher has so much time and honestly so much inclination to help
Change
every student
handwriting,
personally
yes.
is not going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Even in a even in a school where there are 5 to 10 students per classroom, even there it's not easy to give personal attention to every
Focus.
student, right?
But even then,
So
a teacher is always not expert in the art of graphology. She or he might tell that yes, your
yes, so
handwriting
that's what
needs
we do.
improvement. Yeah.
Try to do that. We teach the teachers the general aspect of handwriting improvement and what to see, what to look out for, and then
Hmm.
they can look out for certain red flags in a student's writing, and then overall get a change for it. So yes, I have had many events where I've gone to schools and colleges, trained teachers on how to improve a child's writing or what to look
Hmm.
out for in a child's writing to avoid difficulty. And we have seen that the entire school, the entire college gets benefited and the marks and the performance of the entire institution picks up,
Students
at least
have
from
benefited.
5% to 20% improvement. So a
It's a
student can
big
go
thing.
from 60 to 65% or 60 to
Hmm.
80% marks. That's how the
80%.
jump can be.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because who knew that this graphology would really be improving careers and all? But now, yes, it's of potential importance, I would say. What I see
yes,
myself difference and people doing much, much better than me, even. Like you have
mhm,
students all from over the world, I would say.
yes,
So they are
yes,
doing it so good. And I have also seen you teaching, on the YouTube channels, and also
yes.
friends. I would
Thank
be
you.
surely giving the links here, and you can search for Sir's YouTube videos there. He has nicely taught small a, capital A, small b, capital B, all those
Well, those
differences,
are
distinctions.
just the small little videos to help people personalize their own handwriting. And just as
Yeah,
I am a teacher and I can't take care of everybody, but the
yes,
YouTube channel allows me to replicate my work. So now that I've got
replicate.
maybe
That's
around
correct. Yeah,
11, now if I have 11,000 subscribers on my channel,
yes, yes, yes.
if 11,000 people
I'm
came in
sure you
front
will
of me
have more
today,
after this. You will have more after
I'm
people
sure.
see this, after students, my friends, you will have it more. Because you only
But
have
just
to need to
think,
have time to see it, how to change the
correct.
handwriting and practice. That's all.
Now just think of it. If I got even 11,000 people who are subscribed to me, now if
Hmm.
all of them came in front of me right now, do you
Yes.
think I would be able to give them individual attention? It's not possible.
No.
I would take years probably to complete
Hmm.
all their
Yes, yes,
analysis and
correct.
everybody's therapy and everybody's
That's
courses.
correct.
Right? So with the help of YouTube channel, I'm able to teach them while I'm able to take care of other things also. Okay. So we can use the internet and the YouTube videos as a benefit to
Yeah, of course.
as
But if
many as
somebody
people
wants
as
to
possible.
get trained, if somebody wants to actually, get some training, some teaching from you, is it only online or you teach offline, or how to
Well,
connect to you?
since the last 7 to 8 years, maybe even 10, I have been focused on training people online. Earlier, I used
Okay.
to have offline classes, but online seems to be very convenient. And
Yes, yes.
some people feel that what if offline is much better? What if more interactive? Well, initially, when the internet was much more expensive and we used to have very controlled
Yes,
times for class,
audience
that time it
numbers,
was
yeah.
difficult to teach online and be free. But nowadays, I
Mm.
can teach for hours and the internet is fine and there's no problem. And I have
No
diagrams.
problem.
I can share my screen and draw the pictures, draw the letter structures. So there's no shortage of understanding or tools. And
Mm.
in fact, because of the internet, we are able to we are able to personalize the time for the lectures. Like some students have an attention span of just 20 minutes. So we have 20-minute lectures
Okay.
every day. Some students can go for 2 hours. So I teach them for 2 hours at a stretch with maybe a 10-minute break
Okay.
in between. So the
Mm.
best thing is that the student tells me, okay, I can spare 45 minutes 5 days a week. I'm like, okay, come between this time slot. If both of us can match, we come online, we
You will
learn, we
sit.
enjoy graphology.
Mm. Mm.
And then I have a WhatsApp group, I have a Facebook page where we have groups of people. Sometimes we do a live session where questions and answers are exchanged and we come to know
Asked and
more
all,
about
yeah.
graphology. And if there are doubts, any problems, any difficulties, that is also given the best answers as much as possible. And it's a good time, it's a good fun.
Okay, now suppose as I spoke about health and graphology, somebody not
Mhm.
doing well, somebody bedridden, at that time he would not have the patience or the energy to write and change handwriting. So, but does it really help? How do you suggest them?
So ideally, when the person is ill and they can't write too much, even if they send me a sentence, it can give
Hmm.
me a lot of clues about their ailment. And at that stage, we can't use graphology or graphotherapy as a healing mechanism. For that
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
for that instance, we can use it as a
Medicine,
diagnostic
yes,
tool.
yes.
Because when you do
The
correct
root cause
diagnosis,
can be said. Yeah.
yes. Like let's take for example, just a couple of days ago, I got an emergency message on a phone call that there's a student who is absolutely unsteady and not feeling good, and we don't know what could happen. Either the student
Okay.
could hurt themselves or, commit suicide,
Okay.
whatever.
Getting
And then
violent. Yeah.
the parents tried to talk to their child, and the teachers tried to talk, but nothing was happening. Then finally they sent me the handwriting sample, and then I told the person that just let the child listen to good music and let the child fail the exam. Don't worry.
Okay.
If the child fails, no big deal. Within half an hour, the child was out of their negative thinking, and the child was happy. The child was listening to music, and he did study. He tried his best, but now he was not under the pressure of scoring marks. The
Hmm.
pressure of the parents and the society and his own pressure to perform well was so much of a burden that his 15-year-old mind could not take that. Okay. So when we reduce the source of the pressure, the person
Hmm.
probably was stable,
Improvement
probably
already always comes.
was
Yeah.
able to maintain. Now, just imagine, just a little bit of diagnosis saved a person's life. Just a little
Hmm.
bit of analysis can completely change the person's mood.
Change. Yes. Yes.
So
Perspective.
if
Right.
the person's emotion and mental state can be changed that much, why not physical? Your health is
Yeah.
also
Sure.
also dependent on your emotion and your mentality,
Can take us from
which
the bottom to the
ultimately,
top. Yeah. That's
yeah.
correct.
So when we get a
That's very
person's
true.
handwriting, we look at a
Hmm.
problem for what it is. Doctors also do amazing jobs. Doctors are amazing.
Of
But
course.
most of the
Yeah.
doctors don't look at the problem from an emotional or a mental stress point of view.
Mental stress. Yeah.
They only take the physical
Nowadays.
test. So
Hmm.
sometimes the physical tests come out normal, and the doctor says you're fine, nothing wrong with you. But the mental stress and the emotional stress, nobody is going to check that.
Difficult to understand.
Okay?
Yes. Some people
In
cannot even
fact,
express. They cannot go and tell.
yes.
They're so introvert.
And in
These
fact, if
problems
you
make them more shy.
yes, in fact, if you have emotional stress and mental stress, you don't know where to go. Because if you say you're
Hmm.
going to a psychiatrist, people think you're crazy. But actually, that's the
Yes.
wrong thinking. You should go to a psychiatrist. You should go to a
Yeah.
psychologist before the problem starts so that you can iron out your issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because mental and emotional things can go for a lifetime. I know people stuck with certain thoughts for 40 years, 30 years, and they just
Hmm.
can't get out of that negativity.
The
It hurts.
blockages, yes, they don't get released.
Yes,
Yes, that's correct.
yes.
Because we
Uh,
take a lot into the past with ourselves. And that's correct. The emotional state that right now most of us are going through. And this is one very
correct.
strong method of improving this through graphology. So, do you also train the elderly people like going to offices or corporate offices or places like these?
Yes,
What
I
kind
have
of
students of
reactions,
all ages.
response? Okay,
So we
fine.
have age groups from young individuals from the age of 7 to
Mhm.
15, which is we we train them with the point of academic graphology. Then we go for career-related graphology in the early 20s. Then mid-20s and late 20s students, they go for career enhancement and
Okay.
relationships and guidance for that.
Yes,
Then
yes.
late 30s, late 40s, how to develop your business or work and how to develop team building for corporate graphologies and uh, entities which want to build up their teams. Then we can go for older people, elderly people, which are after the age of 55, 60, where they want to retire and slow down their life and still enjoy life and probably get a skill. So many years they're busy and now they're free, so
Hmm.
they can pick up graphology as a
Basically, they
hobby.
want to, yes, be healthy and enjoy life.
My
That's the thing.
One of my oldest students was around 73 years old. In fact, I have an opportunity very recently to teach a person who's almost 85 years old.
Okay,
Now,
great.
what's the purpose? What's the purpose of such an old person learning? It's
Come
just
and learn.
to understand a newer way of understanding human beings. Now, whether the
Learning is a
person has life,
never-ending process. Yeah, of course.
correct. Now, at that age, we don't know whether the person is going to be here for 5 years or 10
He
years. We
will.
don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
whatever it is, the person in his heart feels happy that I learned something at this age also.
He has the energy. Yes, that is the best thing.
My my age is probably one third of the people at that age. But then it's a joy because knowledge has got no age.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. And that they are learning the energy that they would get through it. Might be it will things will turn out better. They will get something new across. So graphology
Yes.
has relation with colors, with the shapes and all these things too.
Partially, yes. Mostly
Partially,
shape.
yes. Okay.
Colors can influence us, Like I would normally take a sample which is written with a blue color ballpoint pen. If it's
Okay.
written in black, green, or red, there are slight changes in the personality which can be reflected in the analysis. Colors do make an effect, but I'm not very well learned in that line of knowledge. I have other people
Okay.
who
Okay.
help me out in that. But as far as shapes are concerned, yes, doodling or random drawings, which are ultimately handwriting in a creative form, that can be analyzed
Hmm. Hmm.
through
That will be
graphological concept.
helpful.
Yes, yes.
So therefore, your students, now just one last question. I think your students, how are they doing? Anybody taking this graphology as a profession also? Are there somebody?
Well, whenever we come, whenever a student comes to learn graphology, I ask them what's their intention and why do they want to learn. And
Hmm.
initially, let's say 90% or 80% of them are just curious. And it's like maybe a hobby or maybe a like something fancy to
Yes,
boast about
something
with
they
the
have to
friends.
do. They
And
have heard about you. It's
it's fun.
interesting.
Yeah. But then when it starts to affect their life and make things better and things get under their control, some people take it seriously. Some people take it seriously to the point where they don't want to teach anybody, but they want to learn everything about graphology so that they can use it for themselves. They can, like,
Themselves.
especially homemakers and housewives, they have learned graphology from me so that they can take care of the family members. And I think that's one of the best applications of
Idea,
graphology.
yeah, of course. Women
There
must
are
help
there are
out in
HR
as
executives.
many ways as possible, and this is one of them.
Yes, of course. Yes.
That's correct.
HR
So just
executives
one
learn
thing.
graphology to do recruitment analysis. Lawyers and police people learn graphology to understand forensics. Then
Hmm.
teachers and psychologists learn graphology to understand children. So
Students,
the
yes.
concept of graphology is same, but the application is effective
Everyone has
in
a
all the.
purpose, yeah, correct.
Yes,
Age might be different, the purpose is same. So just one thing more is
yes.
any specific letter that you say your students to, practice and give stress more for graphology improvement? Any
Well,
letters?
I mean, each letter has its own properties, but of course, I do have a favorite letter because of its effectiveness in its uh, potency to change life. So, my
Okay.
favorite letter in graphology, as far as the structure is concerned, is letter O. Letter
Oh,
O is
okay.
extremely effective. If you write the letter O correctly, it can help you to clear out and complete small aspects of life, cyclic processes in your life like eating and energy, studies and exam, earning and spending. All these cyclic processes in life become much better and much more interesting
With
when
O,
you
you
have a
say.
good quality O. So, I
Hmm.
mean, for the people who will be viewing this video, I just tell them
Yes.
to make an O which is as simple and as clear as possible. Nothing should go inside the circle. Keep the circle
There should
closed.
be no loop. That's what you say. Yeah.
And if you connect it from outside the O, but nothing from inside. If you don't know exactly, you can check out my letter O on my YouTube channel, or you can connect with me and I'll be happy to tell you how to write the O correctly.
Surely. So, friends, it's very interesting, how Mr. Vivena House sir always tells that how N has a relation with digestion. What is the implication of S or T? So, do,
Yes,
tune in, do catch him through YouTube first. And then, if you want to personally improve any kind or any part of the quality of your life, you can surely
yes,
connect to him. So, today I'll just be here and I'll be happy, more than happy if you are getting any help through this, and if you later on can come and just give comments in my comment box that yes, I have really got some help. I've gone through his videos and this letter. You can read yourself, you can understand yourself better when you know the art of ABCD A to Z. An interesting name
okay,
he has, A to Z graphology, interesting logos he has for himself. So it's very interesting. And thus I also became his student. I also came in touch, connected, and
yes,
yes, sir did take personal care to see through, go through my handwriting, and he did tell me, suggest me some important, individual letters. And I am still struggling. I would not say I have done it wholeheartedly. I am fully 100%. No, not yet. But I thought my viewers should get the advantage of what I know. One good
certainly.
thing that I know, and I can give it to all of you. And if you are benefited, I will be really happy and I will feel blessed also. So thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Vivena. Thank you for your
Thank you so much
time,
for
precious
the
time, I would say.
pleasure.
And we'll meet you again soon. And I'm sure my friends have been already influenced and they are going to take help from you sooner or later.
Sure.
So I'll be surely
All the
giving
best.
his link and his, particulars, whatever required in my description box. Do check in. And for today, Latmanjita Chatterjee signing out. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.